You selected the VFR flight planning video. If you are new to Charts 8, please watch the introduction video by pressing the info card at the top right. The first thing that you'll need to do is select VFR and map presets. We'll go through more map filters later in this video. Click the flight icon and select New Flight. You will see two tabs, General and Options. Let's start on the Options tab. You will see flight name, cruising altitude, distance, flight mode, and chart mode. Start with the flight name. We're going to name this Navigraph VFR. Select flight mode to VFR and our chart mode to STD or standard mode. This is applicable to all aircraft sizes. The CAO or commercial airline overlay mode is for commercial type aircraft. Let's set a cruising altitude of 5,500 feet for this flight. Next, head to the General tab. Origin Airport, click Select. A new search bar will open. We're going to type in Kilo, India, Sierra, Papa. This will pull up Long Island MacArthur Airport in New York. Click Add to Route on the right. For our destination airport, type in Kilo, Mike, Victor, Yankee, and select Add to Route. As you can see here, Charts 8 drew a line with a few things to take note of. The total route is 118 nautical miles straight line at about an 85-degree heading. Of course, we're not going to fly this routing as in we're in a 172 or a single engine. We're going to want to limit our exposure over the water as best as we can. Our first waypoint will be 3 November Yankee 8 or Calverton. There's a VOR next to it and you could tune that 117.2 if you'd like to. Hover your mouse over the airport and open the details of the airport. You're going to see an option to add to the route. Click Add to Route. Take note on the top of the toolbar. We will call this the route pill and it will expand as we add more waypoints. Our next waypoint will be the north shore tip of the island. We will use our drag and drop feature here. The drag and drop feature is a desktop only feature for now. Click on the magenta route and drag to the end of Long Island. As you can see here, it's placed a GPS coordinate on our route pill, about 29 nautical miles from Calverton. Our next waypoint will be Westerly State Airport. Click on the WST and add that to the route. Another menu item will pop up giving us a few options. We can add as origin, destination, or fix. Click Add as Fix and make sure it's added after your last waypoint. Click on VC378 or Point Judith. This is a prominent VFR waypoint that we can use. Click Add to Route after Westerly States Airport. Again, we want to limit our exposure over the ocean, so let's fly a bit north by right-clicking this little peninsula here. This is another way we can add waypoints. Again, click Add to Route and make sure it's after. Let's drag and drop again over this little peninsula before we continue heading toward Mike Victor Yankee. Our next waypoint will be a VFR waypoint called the VP Cut. Go ahead and click on it and add it after. From there, we have about 14 nautical miles on a heading of 112 degrees to Martha's Vineyard. Take note that this is Class D airspace, shaded by our green ring, and it says from the ground to 2,600 feet. If you need to make any edits, take a look at a route pill on top with the edit icon. You can use free text here if needed. Once our route is built and you're happy with it, head over to the tower or the airport icon. This icon will show us important information needed. Select ISP Airport or ISLIP. If we take a look at the tabs from left to right, we have Information, Charts, and Procedures. Let's go to the Information section. As you can see, we have General, Runway Information, Weather, Comms, and finally NOTAMs. The General tab shows us general information about the airport, ICAO and IATA names, the actual name, location elevation, longest runway, magnetic variation, and finally the type of airport. The Runways tab is a great place for a quick glance on planning a prospective runway for departure. Please take note of the green, orange, and red shade here. If the arrow is pointing up, that indicates a tailwind and will be shaded in orange or red. If the arrow is pointing to the left or to the right, this indicates a crosswind with green shading. If the arrow is pointing down, that indicates a headwind and will be highlighted in green. Obviously, we want to use green. The eye or information icon on the right of the runway will help identify runway length. Select runway 24 by clicking the eye icon. It gives us name, dimensions, slope, bearing, and elevation. This is very useful for an unfamiliar airport. This is a great feature for a quick glance at the METAR and TAF reports for the airport. With this feature, you will not have to exit out of the app to search weather. It's very convenient. If you're new to reading a TAF or a METAR, we break down the code to an easily readable format for you. The Comms tab will show us applicable frequency at a glance. Our NOTAMs tab, or Notices to Air Missions, will give you the ability to search applicable NOTAMs without clicking out of the app. It's a wonderful, useful tool to all pilots. As simmers, we probably don't reference this as much as we should. It's never a good thing when we depart an airport to find that our destination airport runway is closed. We encourage you to check your NOTAMs before you depart. When we select the charts section, notice that we have star, approaches, taxi, SID, and ref. For VFR flying, the only thing we're really going to need here is our taxi chart. As you may have already noticed, the taxi chart is below on our pin board already. This tab is used more for the IFR environment. It shows us a visual way of looking at the procedures. We have departures, arrivals, approaches, more on this feature in the IFR section. Let's open our route filters icon by clicking on the slider icon. If the chart symbols are in blue, that indicates a quick selection. However, there are more options to be addressed. Click the rust color slider icon. As you can see, all the icons turn the color of rust. Now, click on the top navigation layer. As you can see, there are many options to choose from within the mapping layers. Some of the mapping options will help with our VFR flight. The first bar is navigation, and you may just want NavAid selected, but it's really up to your user preference. The second option is VFR navigation layers, and we're going to want all of them on. The next option, airspace layers, again helpful for us. Next are infrastructure, airport layers, and finally base layers. Just a word of advice, ensure that the VFR map preset is on. You can always reset the VFR defaults, so have a go at what options you may want on and off. The next item on our list is the airplane follow mode. Once Symlink is installed, this comes as a bundled software with our charts application on the PC, and it's auto-installed. There will be an airplane icon displayed in your charts to help with situational awareness. We wish we had this feature when we were learning to fly. It would have really helped tremendously. Charts 8 is an amazing piece of kit that helps assist pilots during every phase of flight. We would say that it's hard to fly without it. Hopefully this tutorial will help you fly and plan VFR flights with ease when using rich features associated with Charts 8. Happy flying, folks.